Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today to go over some stuff that happened during last week, I will say. This is from May 18th from The Federalist, and it's Whistleblowers expose FBI's corruption and ongoing persecution of political opponents and damning new testimony. So, I'm sure you guys probably did hear about there were some FBI agents that had become whistleblowers, as it says here, and they are testifying before one of the GOP committees. I'm sure it'll mention which one below, maybe oversight or something. But just to go over like how the FBI has very much been politicized. So let's just get into the article here. I like that name, Mr. Friend. How about that? So the subheadline says, several whistleblowers accuse the FBI of engaging in highly corrupt and partisan activity during a House Judiciary Committee hearing on Thursday. So there you go. There's the committee, the Judiciary Committee. I was wrong. So the article says, in an explosive House committee hearing on Thursday, several whistleblowers accused the FBI of engaging in a complex series of highly corrupt and partisan activities, including the manipulation of statistics, targeting of political opponents, and retaliating against whistleblowers seeking to expose the agency's corruption. And the revelations come days after a report from U.S. Attorney John Durham revealed the FBI had no evidence then candidate Donald Trump colluded with the Russians when it launched its Crossfire Hurricane investigation into the former president's 2016 campaign. So that was the other huge bit of news that came out last week, is that Donald Trump has been completely 100% exonerated from doing anything wrong, as if we didn't already know that was the case. I mean, it was bullshit from the beginning, and anyone with half a brain could tell you that. But, there's people that have to stick to the whole, no, it's something. And you can even see there's a lot of cope going on like MSNBC and CNN about this, where they're all just like, no, this didn't reveal anything. And it's like, no, yeah, it actually did, guys. He's in the clear. So thanks for playing. Let's keep going on with this article. While speaking before the House Judiciary Committee, former FBI Special Agent Steve Friend, that was the guy in the picture from before, said he filed protected whistleblower disclosures in August 22 over concerns he had regarding investigations assigned to his office over the January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol riot. More specifically, Friend was concerned the conduction of these inquiries represented a departure from proper, quote, case management rules established in the FBI's Domestic Investigations and Operations Guide, end quote, and that such actions, quote, could have undermined potentially righteous prosecutions and may have been part of an effort to inflate the FBI statistics on domestic terrorism, end quote. And I have seen a couple of things going around over a while now that says that the FBI is actually trying to do that because they want to make a certain group of people look worse than they actually should look. So just keep that in mind too. He said, I also voiced concern that the FBI's use of SWAT and large-scale arrest operations to apprehend suspects who were accused of nonviolent crimes and misdemeanors, represented by counsel, and who pledged to cooperate with the federal authorities in the event of criminal charges created an unnecessary risk to FBI personnel and public safety, Friend said. At each level of my chain of command, leadership cautioned that despite my exemplary work performance, whistleblowing placed my otherwise bright future with the FBI at risk. And then, despite purportedly following proper whistleblower protocol, Friend said the FBI quickly retaliated against him by weaponizing the security clearance process to remove him from active duty within 1 month of filing his disclosures. According to Friend, the agency then orchestrated a campaign of humiliation and intimidation designed to punish and pressure him to resign, which included leaking his private medical information to the New York Times. Oh, that's a HIPAA violation right there, but okay. There's refusing to furnish his training records for several months, and imposing an illegal gag order to prevent him from communicating with his family and attorneys. FBI sounds like a great place to work, right? You wonder why people on the right are saying that the FBI needs to be, basically done like what the Romans did to Carthage, the FBI being Carthage in this case. Wondering why people say that. So in addition to retaliation, Friend went on to accuse the FBI of weaponizing process crimes and reinterpreting laws in order to initiate pretextual prosecutions and persecute its political enemies. That's almost a tongue twister. He also asserted the agency actively colludes with big tech platforms, which we've seen in the Twitter files releases from day one. So, I mean, it's not even an assertion. It's just a fundamental truth. So I'm going to go back to the start of that sentence. It says he also asserted the agency actively colludes with big tech platforms to censor political speech the regime disagrees with, gather intelligence on Americans, and target citizens for malicious prosecution. Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. I think he's 100% right about each one of those three things. There's an embedded tweet here from the Daily Caller from Representative Greg Steube. It says, and he's being quoted as, I'm going to actually open this up to get the whole thing, because otherwise I'd be stopping in the middle of a sentence. So let's see. what the Daily Caller's tweet says as I try to talk while this thing loads. All right. So Greg Stubbe said Director Wray and AG Garland have testified that they would not retaliate against whistleblowers. You followed inside protocol for the FBI utilizing whistleblower statute protection, to make your complaints be known. Friend says yes. Stubbe comes back with the response to that was losing your security clearance. Friend said that's correct. And Stubbe says I'm so frustrated and angry and can't hear the audio because I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I'm a boomer. So back to the article. It says during his testimony, Garrett O'Boyle, a U.S. Army combat veteran and former FBI special agent, chronicled his own experience with the FBI's disdain for whistleblowers. At some point after filing a whistleblower disclosure over concerns the agency was being used to go after the regime's political opponents, O'Boyle sought another position within the country which the FBI approved of. According to O'Boyle, it was only after he had sold his home and moved his family halfway across the country did the FBI then suspend him. Oh, nice bunch of people. Imagine if you did that for your job. I'm going to move from where I'm in is Illinois. Like if I was going to move to, not cutting that out, if I was going to move to California and then my company was like, oh yeah, we're letting you go, I'd be like, excuse me, what? So O'Boyle is quoted as saying, they allowed us to sell my family's home. They ordered me to report to the new unit when our youngest daughter was only 2 weeks old. Then on my first day on the new assignment, they suspended me, rendering my family homeless and refused to release our household goods, including our clothes, for weeks. Wow. This is like a bad divorce or something. So Marcus Allen, not the former NFL running back, is a former Marine and FBI staff operations specialist, also testified about his experience with the FBI's politicization, particularly its attempts to destroy the lives and careers of those within its ranks with dissenting views. As part of his position, Allen was tasked with providing situational awareness and information regarding the January 6th riot. Sorry about the cough, guys. I'm getting over a cold. This is after submitting information to his superiors and others that questioned the narrative of January 6th. However, Allen was accused of pushing conspiratorial views with unreliable information. Just because he's questioning it? Okay. Because the FBI subsequently suspended Allen in January of 2022 and questioned his allegiance to the United States. Okay. This is according to Allen. It wasn't until 5 months later, after a congressional member made statements indicating the FBI was conducting a purge of employees with conservative viewpoints, did the FBI reach out seeking an interview. Much like Friend, Allen claimed his security clearance was revoked after he filed his whistleblower complaint. Then he said, it has been more than a year since the FBI took my paycheck from me. My family and I have been surviving on early withdrawals from our retirement accounts while the FBI has ignored my request for approval to obtain outside employment during the review of my security clearance, Allen said. We have lost our federal health insurance coverage. There is apparently no end in sight. So, I'm going to actually click on this embedded tweet, another one from the Daily Caller. Excuse me again. It was with Matt Gaetz there. Okay, I thought there was more to it than that. So the video is going to play. You can't actually hear anything, but Matt Gaetz says, is it your belief, this is to Marcus Allen, that you were retaliated against because you shared an email that questioned the truthfulness of the FBI Director Christopher Wray? And Allen says, yes. That's wonderful. So, predictably, House Democrats used Thursday's hearing to slander the whistleblowers to cover for the FBI's authoritarianism. Man, cough's coming on hard here. Says in one instance, Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Democrat of Florida, attempted to equate Friend's calls to defund the FBI due to its weaponized behavior with support for defunding law enforcement. The Florida Democrat also accused Friend of using Thursday's hearing to promote his upcoming book, which Friend never mentioned, and attacked the former agent for his concerns over the FBI's use of excessive force during certain arrests. In his prior testimony, Friend detailed a case where the FBI planned to use a SWAT team to carry out arrest on a January 6th subject, and that's in quotes, the word subject. According to Friend, he was concerned over the use of such tactics because the subject of the arrest warrant had been in communication with the FBI at that point and had expressed a willingness to cooperate. And then he also continues by saying, in my experience dealing with subject of crimes and bringing them into custody, the FBI tends to use the least amount of force necessary to do that safely, and I felt that the use of SWAT was an unnecessary tool for that particular individual, Friend said. And of course, Wasserman Schultz misconstrued, because she's a Democrat, it's what they do, Friend's testimony to make it sound as if he sympathized with the January 6th subject and other suspected criminals upon whom arrest warrants were issued. And a House Judiciary Court containing the whistleblowers' aforementioned allegations and prior testimony can be found here, and if you want to read that, the article is linked below. So, that is it. So, what I'd suggest everybody go and look up too, man, coughing, is to go look up the interaction between, I believe it was Marcus Allen and some California representative with danger hair, where she accused him of saying things from a Twitter account that wasn't his, and she was just very belligerent about the fact that it was like right off the bat, she was like, hey, is this your Twitter account? And she named the account, and he was like, no, that's not my Twitter account. And then she was like, well, would you sympathize with these things? And he's like, ma'am, it's not my Twitter account. And she's like, well, no, let me finish. And it's like, lady, this is not his Twitter account. You pick some random, like Marcus Allen, that's probably a fairly common name, I would think. It's like you just pulled some random person. And the quote that they were attributing was something like, Nancy Pelosi is responsible for January 6th or something. And so she was trying to get him to say, like, do you agree with that statement? And he said no. I mean, because that's kind of a ridiculous statement. But it's just, that's what you get from the Democrats, is just stupidity. And, like, you guys couldn't do enough of an investigation into this guy to make sure you had the right Twitter account? I mean, the guy even said he uses Twitter, but that was not his account. And they're just going, oh, well, you have the same name as this person, so this must be you, and do you agree with this, what this person said? And it's ridiculous. And then Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who's never known for making intelligent statements, misconstruing statements, but that's, again, what the Democrats do. So let me know what you think about this and about all the whistleblowing stuff that's been going on in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to go cough in a corner here, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.